Welcome to the show, Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. Just went live on the Book of Faces. You know, it's Tuesday. Welcome back. Did you have a nice weekend?
We did. Yeah, we had a nice weekend. And
stay in town, do anything?
Stayed in town. No, just hung out with the kids. And no, I did get a 2-hour massage for the first time. That was, I'll never go back now, ever.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And
you'll never go back to the place that gave you the 2-hour massage?
No, I'll never go back to, I'll never go back to less than 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I meant to expand on that. Other than that, yeah, just made a ton of calls yesterday. Actually, I made like 120 outbound calls yesterday.
Wow.
Just
on Monday.
Because I felt like it. Yeah.
We were closed Monday.
I know.
You had to work. It's a Monday, you have to work.
You know, I had something in my head that I wanted to do, and I have an event coming up. If anyone is interested who is listening or watching, it's on preservation of Houston, 40 years of history on the preservation movement of historic Houston. And Jim Parsons, who's head of the Historic Society in Houston, he's going to be speaking. So you guys could go to my Facebook site. Loan with Jen is my Facebook, and you can see where to RSVP. Anyone who's interested in going to that, it's going to be just really fun, I think, to learn about whether you're native Houstonian or not. It'll be really cool to learn about Houston.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So it's Right Path Real Estate Radio. Our call-in number is 713-785-1817. I've got Jennifer Hernandez. She's the Hernandez team with Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and that's 713-579-3600, 713-579-3600, and it's jennifer.legacymutual.com. Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We're just breaking all the rules this morning, are we?
That's all right.
I know,
We're
right?
Just going rogue.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I love about this show is that, you know, really what we're about, you can do almost anything when your heart is to help people. And I know your heart is to help people. My heart is to help people. You know, it's amazing over the last couple of weeks, we've had so many people been able to give testimonials to what they've learned at Right Path. You know, one guy that's bought 15 houses in the last 11 months. We have numerous people that have flipped houses and made $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 at a clip. Wholesaled houses for $30,000 and $45,000 on a wholesale fee. I mean, which is fantastic. So really life-changing business dollars flowing into their families so they can pour that back into investments. You know, we sat down with you and your husband, I know, for dinner, about a month ago, something like that?
About a month.
And just really talking about, hey, what are some things that we could be doing differently? And we came up with some good plans. And now you wanted to bring up some things. You wanted to ask me about a particular real estate deal?
So, yeah, I wanted to ask you, so, you know, Fernando and I, our minds have been churning, right?
Yep,
so
sure.
now we're kind of, if we see a property, whatever. So we saw one. Fernando and I were in disagreement about it because he liked the fact that it was in a brand new neighborhood.
Yeah.
No maintenance. Like, you wouldn't need maintenance on this thing for like 10 years.
Sure.
It's a year old, maybe 2. It was in move-in ready condition. Like, it needed 0 updating before you rent it out.
Right.
Like, you didn't even need to paint it. It was just perfect.
Yep.
And, you know, the rent in the area, you could get like $1,800 to $1,900.
Yep.
The price was $240.
Yeah, I was going to say it's $1,800 a month, $240,000 house, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And, you know, the payment is just $1,900 to $2,000. Like, it's right there.
Cash flow negative.
So cash flow negative or break even, but really negative when you eventually you will have to fix a toilet or something, right?
Yep.
So I didn't think it was. We didn't do it because I didn't think it was a good deal. I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, no, I'm just looking at the appreciation. I'm like, well, they're still building new places.
How's it going to appreciate?
Across the street.
Right. How's it going to appreciate when you have new construction? That's one of the things that we really preach is that houses that are above the median home price, they're going to appreciate at some level, but houses below the median home price, which is especially below replacement cost, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I can go buy a $150,000 house, no one can build a house to compete with that because it's going to take a $240,000 house in order to build new, right?
Yeah.
It's really, it's hard to build new, buy the lot, do the construction, have the carrying cost for the holding. have all the operational overhead and all that you're going to have to do that time and time repeatedly as a business. Have the profit built into it and all that, and sell a house for less than $240,000. It's really nearly impossible. Can you do it for maybe if you smaller square footage, something like 220? Yes, but could you do it for 150? Absolutely not. You can't build a house that competes with a $150,000 house. So that $150,000 house is going to appreciate. When I say 150, imagine that, you can fix a lot of stuff for 170. So wouldn't you rather own a house that rents for 1% or more? That's a couple of rules we have. One is, how much below the median home price is it? Number two, how close to 1% of the value of the house do you get in rent on a monthly basis? So $150,000 house, do you get close to $1,500 a month in rent?
Okay.
$240,000 house, you need to get $2,400 a month in rent. So you're getting well below that. So, what you find is even $100,000 houses oftentimes rent for $120,000, $130,000. Excuse me, $1,200 to $1,300 a month in rent. And so I'd rather, for $240,000, I'd rather have $220,000 houses that are going to rent for $1,200 to $1,300 a month than one house at $240,000. Granted, I love that it's new construction, but I don't like buying it new. We oftentimes will find houses like this. Somebody will get in, they'll go in and buy this. They can't really afford it. They get in a distressed situation. Maybe they put $30,000 or $40,000 down. I come in and take it over subject to in the future, right? And I capture some equity right at the beginning. Or, 7 years from now, 8 years from now, something like that. It's still relatively new. I don't want it brand spanking new, but I like it 8 or 10 years old where there's been some equity pay down and maybe some appreciation, or at least where there's not as many new houses that, like when we bought in Greatwood. Gosh, it took almost 15 years to fully build out all of Greatwood. I mean, and it's difficult to see appreciation until after that 15-year period is up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we didn't do it, needless to say, but I knew I was along the right lines. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah. And what I see is a lot of people do this when they're brand new. Like, it's not uncommon, the thought process that your husband's going through is that, we're getting a house that doesn't need any maintenance. But you can take a really old house, a 1950s, 1960s, 1970s house, and if you buy it deep enough, you can build in that you're going to have new plumbing, new drain lines. Go in and replace all
put
the
$20,000 in.
You can put 30 or 40,000. I mean, if it's really all about the number that you're buying it at. If I'm buying a $150,000 house and I'm paying $110,000 and I spend $40,000 in repairs, I essentially no longer have a 1960s, 1950s house. I've got a 2018 house in terms of the major. I've got new air conditioning. I've got new roof. I've got new plumbing. I've got new supply lines, drain lines, new electrical panel box. I mean, it's as good as it's like new. I don't have brand new framing, but framing doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't have brand new sheetrock, but so what? I mean, So, and you can make the countertops look new. You can make the cabinets look new. All those kind of things. So anyhow, hey, you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Now, one of the things that we recognize is we're selling a lot of houses right now. And, when people come in, they're saying, hey, we've got a pre-approval letter already. We've already picked our mortgage company because it's typically referred by their agent, or maybe they've got a brother-in-law or a cousin or whoever it is that's in the mortgage business, right? But, we get these pieces of paper, and we realize that the only value in that piece of paper is what's backing that paper, right? Because if there's nothing backing the paper, then it's not worth the paper that it's printed on, right? Which is, what do you buy a ream of paper for? It's a couple bucks, right?
Yeah, a couple dollars for 100 sheets or 200
and
or whatever.
Ink is ridiculously cheap, right? So how can we know that the piece of paper that we're receiving as the seller of a house is worth more than the paper it's printed on?
Honestly, you really don't. It's a gut feeling and just a leap of faith, unless you know the value that the person giving the letter puts behind it.
Right.
Which, before we came on and you asked me what we wanted to talk about, that leads into it, which is, we did, in the last 2 weeks, we've done 2 save-a deals from other
Mortgage
companies.
companies, yeah,
Where
sure.
the agent calls us, groveling, and where they're
rate.
like, "Oh, we tried to get them to you in the beginning." I'm like, "Listen, don't worry. I'm going to help you anyway. You don't need to explain." So both of them, different situations. One was a big bank, too big to fail lender in the top three. You can just guess who it was, and you're probably right.
Yep.
And then the other was actually from a smaller, it was actually a local mortgage company. And so the big one, they gave a pre-approval letter for 150. They were under contract and everything's cruising along. And then 2 weeks before closing, they said, "Oh, we made a mistake. You're not approved for 150. We're downgrading it to 96,000." Like, that's like freak out time.
Yeah, this is going to reduce it by a little more than a third.
They'd had 3 to 4 weeks with these people.
Right, sure.
And it took 3 to 4 weeks for them to figure that out. So
Yeah.
I said, all right. So within 2 hours, we got everything out on the table and we had zero problem. It turns out that this too big bank was not using the wife's part-time income, which she had 15-year history of part-time income. It was like a slam dunk. They had $100,000 in the bank. Like, we were digging to find out what we were missing. We're like, okay, this is too easy. Like,
Sure,
there's
right.
nothing wrong with this.
Because Fannie Mae guidelines say you can use part-time income if there's a
Yeah.
history of them working part-time.
Yeah, at least a
It's
2-year
not illegal
history.
to work part-time in this country, I don't think, right?
It is not. And
All right.
we just, not a problem. So we turned it around and we locked with them.
Now, we understand that sometimes somebody might make $50,000 a year in their salary, but then also get overtime, right? And they may get $20,000 a year of overtime. They've been doing that for years and years, but I understand that overtime's not supposed to last forever, right? So
2-year, you have to have a 2-year history, and then if their year-to-date pay stub shows that it's possibly declining, well, then that's an issue.
Okay.
So we look for signals, whereas maybe they had overtime for 2 years on 16 and 17, but then we get a verification of employment or look at the year-to-date pay stub. We're like, hey, you're not on track to make that same overtime. So, it is every lender is a little bit different about what they require about overtime. It is pretty cut and dry, but it is important. And the other Save a Deal that we had, it was a local lender, but you got to be careful when the company's too small. I think this was someone that they knew, like the brother of a cousin or somebody. And he took off and went backpacking in Nepal or something for 2 weeks, literally, and didn't tell anybody. And he just disappeared.
Oh, nice.
And these people had to, they were like, we have to close.
Hey, the music says I'm out of time. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. It's Jennifer Hernandez, Jennifer.legacymutual.com, 713-579-3600.
See ya.
I've got another segment if you want to stay one more.
I think I can. What time does it?
It starts in 4.
Accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place.
Starts at 22.
I'm Jennifer Hernandez.
We were
Senior
1
Loan
minute late
Officer
going
with
in,
Legacy
so we'll
Mutual
come back at
Mortgage.
22 and then
Our
stay until
goal is to give our
34.
borrowers and
Okay.
referral partners
So
an
it's-
Yeah, I'll do that.
amazing
Let me,
experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992 Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com. Oh, and don't forget about our famous Third Wednesday Super Investor Networking Meeting. Lots of fun, lots of great real estate talk. We'll see you there.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA.
Is Tom there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
1-855-FUN-IRAs.
How much time?
Or go to our
Coming
website,
back now.
questira.com.
Well, you didn't see me?
This is Business 1110.
All right, you just sat down on the Facebook. Okay, here we go. Hot mics, y'all.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. You know, it's weird how you get into this rhythm of the timing of stuff in life, right? And the radio show is one of those things that you just kind of get in a rhythm. You go disappear.
I got this.
And then
You disappear and then you come right back.
Right, exactly. You probably have that in mortgages, right? You just have this rhythm and a timing.
It's an innate. Yeah, in fact, next Tuesday, the 11th, is my 23rd year anniversary being in the business.
Wow. So started when you were like 10?
10.
Right.
Maybe, I think actually I was 7.
Is that right? Perfect.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But
Yeah.
you get into a rhythm and, you get into a rhythm, and I think that's what we were talking about before the break. It's easy to get stale and crusty.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to really be on your game. And I'm just constantly, and I'm not by any way trying to boast on myself, but I have to constantly be updated with guidelines and learning and making sure I've got my fingers on everything that happened and surround myself with people on my team that support me. I can say that's something I've done really well, because it's easy to just go off into la la land and just think, yeah, I've been doing this a long time. And I mean, it doesn't matter. You're only as good as your last closing.
Right.
Like, seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we were talking earlier just about the letters. I think that just for the listeners out there, whether you're a realtor or a buyer or an investor, it really is important for you to know who you're doing business with. And so please like our Facebook page, Loan with Jen. We also have a YouTube channel, Loan with Jen, that has all kinds of videos on it, YouTube videos that I've made about the process. And one of them is about us and questions to ask a lender. And, it's so important to ask questions and to know it's so much more than interest rate.
Yeah.
And get a trusted recommendation from a friend. And there's a reason why everyone's here at these rates.
Yeah.
And then there's one or two Lone Rangers that they're lower than everybody else.
Right.
Why is that?
Yeah, why is that?
Because they run on fumes. They have no support. They have no, they outsource processing to other countries. Not that there's anything wrong with other countries, but it's not there in the office. Like my processor in my office, my processors are right there. I got to tighten them up when they need tightening up. My team, they're right there, and I can see them at all times and know what they're doing. And it's a big, important job dealing with people's personal information.
I see is there's a shift going on in society where people are starting to value time over money. Now, money's important. Don't get me wrong, but I remember back, 30 years ago when I was, 40 years ago when I was a kid growing up. And money was harder to come by back then, right? I mean, I even think about like what my grandfather used to make. When I found out one time that my grandfather never made more than like $8,000 a year in his life, which that back then was a lot of money. I remember, first car I ever bought, I was telling my daughter not too long ago that bought a 2-year-old car for $4,500. And what I realized is that $1 really meant a lot then. Today, $1 is like, pay $6 for a cup of coffee,
like
or $7. It's like no big deal, right? Most people don't even pay attention to that. So people, and we see this as a shift in cars, that when you used to sell a used car, people would value money over time. You put an ad in the newspaper, you do all of that, right? Nowadays, what I see is in more and more industries, rate matters in a mortgage. It does. But more importantly, two things I've discovered. One is people are valuing time over money. It's like, I'll pay a little bit more if it takes less of my time, because I'm trying to do so many things in a day and trying to accomplish a lot. And I'm sure you're in the same situation, right? You're not necessarily, you don't have the time to shop for this price versus that price. It's like, hey, I'm not going to drive across town to save $1, right? I'm going to buy it right now, pay it. I'm going to get it done, check it off the list, move on, right? Done is better than perfect, right? So I'm seeing that that's a shift, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited about as an investor, that more and more people are starting to see the same thing, that hey, I can sell a property to an investor that needs work. That way I don't have to fool with getting it all fixed up and all else. Yeah, I'm not going to get every single penny out of it, but I value my time more than the extra dollars that it's going to take, all that extra time to get to squeeze the marrow out of the deal, right? But I also realize it's about relationships. So I was on a panel not this past weekend, but the weekend before up in Dallas, talking about contractors, and I see that rate really matters a lot. Like, man, I can't spend $15,000 on this rehab. I only have a $13,000 budget on this rehab, whatever the number is, right? People get so rate or dollar focused that they forget about the relationship. And we've heard over and over that, our net worth is directly related to our net network, right? So what are our relationships like in our network? I was talking with a guy not too long ago. It was at a white picket event, and he said, I want to get out of the landlord business. I go, why is that? I mean, that's where the best money is. And any investment class in America today, owning single-family real estate, I believe, is one of the best investment classes. And Buffett says the same thing. Not that I'm as smart as he is when it comes to investments, but it's always good to be on the same side, right? Yeah. And he goes, well, I'm always having a tough time finding contractors. And I said, what's your relationship with your contractors like? Are you that guy that, if he says I can do it for $3,000, you go, no, the best I can do is $2,500. Are you always beating him up on price? And you always want it yesterday? He goes, yeah, I guess you're right. I'm not a very good, relationship. I'm not a very good client for those contractors. And I'm like, if you're going to be in the real estate business, you've got to have a relationship with a mortgage company you trust. That's why we've built a relationship with you over time. You don't build a relationship in a minute. It takes time to develop that. And so that's one of the things I feel like when people plug into the Right Path Real Estate program, they're able to leverage our relationships. And they can go out and create relationships on their own, but we've had a relationship going now for 4
or 5 years.
5 years now. You can't microwave a 5-year relationship like that, right? And imagine what it'll be like in another 5 years when you say, we had a 10-year relationship like that.
It'd be awesome.
And so imagine what that's like when you have a mortgage company like that, and you've got a hard money lender like that, you've got contractors that are like that, you've got inspectors that are it's like you've got appraisers that are like that. It's like, then this business becomes really, really easy. But most people get so focused on, well, how do I do the transaction, that they're not really looking at, I need to build the relationships while I'm learning the business.
Yeah.
So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. I'm joined live in the studio with Jennifer Hernandez. Her website is jennifer.legacymutual.com. Her phone number is 713-579-3600, 713-579-3600. can you expound on what are some of your best relationships that you go, I can get these things done quickly with one phone call because I trust this person?
Well, on investment deals, you're one of them because I've had questions for clients and you always answer my call, and I really very much appreciate that. Sure. Have a great relationship with an appraiser. We don't pick appraisers, but he's on our panel.
Sure.
But offline, we just talk in general terms about appraisals and what's going on in the market. So we have some people there. I'm in a book club with an inspector, Fox Inspection Group, Gordon Fox, love him. And so when I need, and it's not because I particularly need anything, it's just because I like these people and I send these people business because I like them.
Right.
And I know that if I need something, they're there. And if they need something, I drop all of it and I open up my database to them and give them referrals. I mean, it's a two-way street.
Right.
And so you're right. In any, I mean, that was a really good point that you made. And I just think in any relationship, you've got to start developing. So if you're listening to this and you're looking for a lender, call me, come to the office. Let's visit for 15, 20 minutes. We have coffee and snacks. We'll let you not leave the office hungry. Just come see me and let's talk it through, because when you're invested, it's scary when you're first starting to invest and you're like, am I doing the right thing? And we can help point you in the right direction.
And there's this website. I think it's going to catch on. It's Google. I don't know if you've heard of it. Google.com.
It's somewhere. Heard about it somewhere.
Yeah, and you can Google a lot of stuff on the internet. I mean, you're always just a few. The trouble is there's all this information, but Google doesn't provide the wisdom that comes from the experience that you have. I mean, you said 23 years. I mean, there's more wisdom that comes with lending when you've been doing this for 23 years.
I got some gray hairs right here.
I'll match you one. You pull one, I'll pull one.
I do have low lights. I have to say, I do have low lights.
So that Google lacks that wisdom.
Yeah.
And so people don't know, what they don't know when they're, so you can Google and find rates. And those rates that's best case scenario. That's not taking into consideration. I mean, you can Google rates for auto insurance and homeowners insurance and realize that, oh my gosh, I don't have perfect credit and I pay more, and because almost all auto and homeowners is credit based now on terms of rates also. And so, and not until someone really opens up and is transparent can they be helped in the right way. And that's what you get to the meat of the matter quickly and say, hey, based on your given set of facts, this is how we can help you. And then it makes the whole process easy. I've heard so many people say that they hate the house buying process. One is that most people don't know how the whole process works, so they don't do it very often.
They don't have anyone. Yeah, they don't have anyone helping them. They're calling a 1-800 number for their processing and in a queue with 5 different people that they're like, oh yeah, we can help you, and you have to explain yourself all over again, and it's very cold. And whereas with us, it's like, hey, you referred to us by so and so, we are going to take care of you.
Yeah, well, you're going to get referred right now by Right Path Real Estate. It's jennifer.legacymutual.com. That's jennifer.legacymutual.com. 713-579-3600. 713-579-3600. Music says I'm out of time. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Mic's off.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, we were light today as Ashley's going to be Thursday's.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for repair is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated. However, Foundation Check utilizes professional engineers to review all of our files to give you the best foundation analysis in today's market. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825, or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned about the new TRID rules and closing on time? I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close. We close on time, accurately, and with tons of communication. You'll have a dedicated team of a coordinator and a contract-to-close associate. Give me a call today at 713-579-3611, and let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction. NMLS 514497.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts, Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Hello, real estate investors. Do you need a lender that moves fast at the speed of a jet to fund your investment properties? Jet Lending will help you purchase properties quickly with as little cash out of pocket as possible. Jet Lending also sets up a repair escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending is your fast and friendly hard money source for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call 281-872-7800 or email us at info@jetlending.com.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give NextGen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Taxes. Just the sound of that word makes people cringe. At Anderson Advisors, we provide tax reduction through asset protection for real estate investors throughout the country. Our unique philosophy has CPAs, lawyers, bookkeepers, and estate planners with one common goal, helping you, the real estate investor. Check us out today at andersonadvisors.com, and don't forget to tell us you heard about us at Right Path Real Estate.
This is Jason Bible with Right Path Radio. Look, if you're new to real estate or you're experienced and you just want a little help with wholesaling, flipping, rentals, you really need to get on the right path. So why should you listen to us? We take the confusion out of real estate investing. We make tailor-made plans just for you. Just like not every house is the same, so why should your investing
I'm sorry.
be the same as every other investor?
That's okay.
Did you have to go an extra?
Right Path Radio weekdays,
Yeah, it's all good. I'm just playing this commercial.
right
All right,
here
cool.
on Business 1110 KTEK.
This is Business 1110.
All right, here we go. Hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. One of the few real estate education companies that actually does real estate full-time also. So we don't normally recommend buying properties at the auction, but we have identified a property at the auction. We're trying to pull all the stops, getting the cashier's checks, all that kind of stuff. There is a particular property, a unique situation. You know, here's what I will tell you is that as a rule of thumb for most new investors, they don't have the research, the skill set. You know what I'd say is typically what happens is when you go to the auction and buy properties, by definition, the person that wins the auction is the person that's willing to pay the most amount of money, which is the person willing to take the smallest amount of return and take the largest amount of risk. Well, imagine if you were going to go into any business, you know, whether it's, you know, trash hauling, it's landscaping, it's, a restaurant business, and you go, okay, as a business philosophy, I'm willing to make the least amount of margin and take the most amount of risk. What's the likelihood as a business philosophy that that's going to keep you in business long term? It's stinking thinking is really what it is. And what we find in real estate is that after helping literally hundreds and hundreds, if not, over 1,000 people to make money in real estate, either buy, fix, and flip, either wholesale or buy and hold, the number one thing that sets the successful people from the people that don't succeed is the thought process. Learning the transaction itself is really, really easy. There's only a certain number of moving parts. To learn how to build a new house may sound daunting, especially if you've never done construction before. But if you break it down, it's 55 steps. And a lot of those steps are, things like getting the permits. And that in and of itself is, a whole process. But once, if you're willing to try it, I'll never forget the very first time that I went down to the permitting department. And it's incredible. If you show up at the permit department and you act like you know what you're doing and, you're like, I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't need any help. It's incredible how the world shows up for you in that situation that, guess what? You don't get much help. But if you show up there and everybody's got to have a first time to the permitting department, there's some people that do it every day, and then there's some people that have never, ever done it before. And don't you think that the permit people know that? And typically when I'm trying something new for the very first time, I'll show up and say, hey, I need some help. And I just struggle. I just really need some help. I don't know what I'm doing here, and I don't even know where to begin. And it's amazing how people, when you're honest and transparent with them, they will bend over backwards to help you out. And, when I walked into the permitting department for Harris County for the very first time for the city of Houston, and I didn't even know who the right person was to walk up to and ask. So I just walked up to the first person and said, "Hey, look, I've never done this before. I feel fortunate I even found the right building. I assume this is the right building. I need to get a permit, to do." And I was able to explain to somebody, what it was I was trying to accomplish. Where do I go? And they couldn't have been more helpful. And so the same thing happens when you're learning how to do real estate. What I find that gets frustrating is when people want to act as brand new people like they already know and they don't need help. And that just never works in life, much less in investing and in anything else. And be willing to learn from someone that's been there and done that. I know Jason and I, when we started Houston House Buyers, I had some experience in construction because I'd owned Fast Track. And, I'd also, with another business partner, had done, like 7 deals, 1 flip and 6 wholesales. Nothing really to write home about huge. And Jason had done like 4 houses. He had done 2 buy and holds and 2 flips, just for the experience of it. Oftentimes you do learn by doing more so than, learning how to do something from a book. But you can also learn from other people's experiences, but only to a certain point. It's like I can explain to you what it was like for me to ride a bicycle. And you can gain some knowledge, some between the ears information. But there's nothing quite like the educator of experience to be able to learn even more from. And so when I try and teach people how to do a real estate transaction for the very first time. It's like, hey, here are the main components that you need to know. One is you gotta be able to know how to analyze what the property is worth when it's all fixed up. We call that the predicted future value, the PFV. Second thing that you have to get pretty good at relatively quickly is understanding what your costs are based on your exit strategy. So if your exit strategy is going to be buy and hold, it's going to have a different set of costs than if your exit strategy is to flip. For example, if you're going to flip a house, one of the things that you're worried about is, what is it going to cost me to sell the house when I'm finished with it? And so some of those costs might include, the real estate agent's fees when you list the property, the listing agent, the buyer's agent fees. You're also going to have the title expenses, for title insurance and the escrow fees, the doc prep fees, the attorney fees, all of those kind of things, wire fees. You've got all of those. And then you've also got, if you run it like a business, you also have the negotiation after the sale. Now, there's also some rules of thumb that you learn about construction. Let's face it, I can't carpet a house or tile a house. It's funny, I'll be driving down the road, and I used to see these all the time, and it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever shopped for a car before, and once you identify the model of car that you want, let's say you're shopping for a Camry, Camry's probably a bad example because Camrys literally are ubiquitous. They're everywhere. But let's say that you're shopping for a Cadillac STS, and maybe you don't really notice a Cadillac STS, but it's on your radar of a possible vehicle that you might consider buying. And then suddenly you start seeing those everywhere. Everywhere you turn, they're everywhere. And it used to be that when I was looking for, lowering my tile cost, I would see these places all the time. Tile for 69 cents a square foot or 59 cents a square foot. I never saw them cheaper than 59 cents a square foot. Then you go see the tile and you understand why it's 59 cents a square foot. It's really brittle. You're going to have a lot of loss because there's not enough clay in the tile itself, and it gets brittle and it breaks. And so you might buy 1,000 square feet of tile and lose 20% of it just in laying it. It's hard to cut. It cracks when you're transporting it, things like that, and you're like, oh man, I saved 10% on the purchase, but I lost so much in waste. I didn't really save anything, right? So then you start finding out, well, what's the lowest price I can pay for a quality tile? Something that is not going to break, not going to tear up, those kind of things. So there's things along the way that from experience you're going to learn, and then you go, oh, well, okay, I can buy tile for 69 cents a square foot, but you wouldn't want to plug into your formula that if I've got 1,000 square foot house and I want to put 1,000 square foot of tile, I want to tile everything, tile the entire house, tile it all. Then it's 1,000 square foot times 69 cents, I get $690. You wouldn't want to plug in as your budget number $690 because it doesn't take into all the costs. Doesn't take in the grout and the thin set and the floating of the floor and the labor to install it and the tax on the tile and the tax on all the other materials and the profit for the person that's laying the tile and on and on and on, and the waste and the touch-up of the paint after the tile and the tile saw blade, because those wear out depending on if you're making your tile layer provide those tools or you're providing those tools. So I figured out that, hey, I could tile a house for about $3.35, somewhere around $3.50 a square foot. That's what tile cost me installed. So if I had 1,000 square feet, that's a long way to go from 69 cents to $3.50. But if you budgeted $3.50, so on a 1,000 square foot house, that's $3,500 to tile a house. That's a lot more accurate. But it's important that you know your numbers. Now, there's some shortcuts, some cheats. And we'll talk about that more on the other side of the break. You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. That's Right Path Real Estate Radio. 713-785-1817. Give us a call.
Mic's off.
Hi, Clint Coons here, attorney and avid real estate investor. You know, the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, The Invisible Investor Strategy, today at AndersonAdvisors.com or call for a free risk reduction analysis and financial blueprint at 800-706-4741. Anderson Business Advisors will help you keep more of what you earn. Call us today at 800-706-4741 and mention Right Path Real Estate.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned about the new TRID rules and closing on time? I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close. We close on time, accurately, and with tons of communication. You'll have a dedicated team of a coordinator and a contract-to-close associate. Give me a call today at 713-579-3611, and let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction. NMLS 514497.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before ever repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
You found or inherited a great investment.
All right, 30
property.
seconds.
Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
This is Business 1110.
All right, hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817, 713-785-1817. If you've not taken a look at what path you are on right now towards your financial freedom date. You know, in order to reach financial freedom, you have to determine what's the number that I need to bring in passively on a monthly basis that would allow me some choices. Is that an extra $500 a month? Is that $1,000 a month? Is that $5,000 a month? You know, the average retiree retires on less than $60,000 a year because they have less than $150,000 in savings when they retire. And what I find is we have a lot of people that are in their mid to late 50s that are playing catch up, and their plan is if they can work till 65, 67, 68 years old, they'll be able to catch up enough in that period of time that they'll be okay in retirement. But then lo and behold, they find themselves at 59, 60, 61 years old, and they're not in control of their own destiny because somebody in HR or somebody, you know, the business owner or whoever it is says, you're the most expensive employee. And in order for the company to be more profitable, we need to let you go. And if they let you go, then that severely disrupts your plan. And so You're sneaking.
I'm trying to sneak in here without making any noise.
He's not making any noise, but he's doing a great job. This is my business partner Jason. He's sneaking in, not making any noise, getting a cable, getting ready to do a video. Yeah, you know, it's interesting because we do a radio show. We talk about how you can improve your better future. You can do it through buy, fix, and flip. You can do it through wholesaling. You can do it through buy and hold. You can do it through lending. You know, each of those is a different vehicle. You know, we talk a lot. There's an analogy we talk about that an airplane is a vehicle, that a car is a vehicle, a train's a vehicle, a bicycle is a vehicle. All those are vehicles. And you would never dream of picking the vehicle before you pick your destination. In other words, let's say, hey, I want to go across the street. There's a Bahama Bucks across the street. Let's say I want to go across the street to Bahama Bucks. I wouldn't pick an airplane for that. Probably wouldn't pick a bicycle either because, you know, it looks like rain. But a car would be a good solution. A train would be terrible. So once you pick the destination, the vehicle is oftentimes very, very easy. And in the same way, flipping is a vehicle, wholesaling is a vehicle, buy and hold is a vehicle, lending is a vehicle. But if you haven't decided where you're trying to get to, a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, financially, so many people come in with a plan. Well, I want to wholesale 10 houses so then I can flip 20 next year that then I can buy 30 buy and holds the next year. It doesn't have to work that way. Oftentimes, you will lay your own plan. If I wanted to go climb Mount Everest, I promise you, I would decide first. That's what I wanted to do. But then I would go to the experts and say, hey, now that I've set my goal, this is what I want to do. What's the best plan of attack? Go to somebody that's done there, been there, done that, been there before. Seconds. That's what we've done at Right Path. Over 500 houses and counting. We still do it every day. We're going to be there at the auction today trying to buy a house. If you want to find out more about this, go to rightpathrealestate.com. Register for our free event, rightpathrealestate.com. It's our Pathway to Income and Wealth workshop. We've got one today at 6:30. You ought to be there. Set your own path to wealth and income today. Don't delay. Thanks for listening, guys. It's been fun. I'll be in the studio tomorrow.